Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are on a live question and answer period right now. What I'm going to show you tonight, guys, if you're on, there's a lot of people that are tuning in right now from all four corners of the world, all the way as far as Africa. This morning we had Africa, we had the UK, all throughout Europe. We even have people coming in from the Orient. Guys, this is getting really, really exciting. Now, why do I say that? I say that because all the things that I send out in my emails, all the things that I send out in my correspondence, they're all screen captures. This is real, guys. And once you learn the strategy on how to automate your life. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean automate your life? There's some basic principles in marketing that you need to understand, and you'll get better as you go to be able to kind of hone in and tweak it. Now, one thing that I'll tell you about marketing, it's all about testing, tweaking, right? It's almost like a sailboat. So you set your course and to get to a certain place, and then you adjust your sail, and then you go a certain amount of distance, and then you got to jive, and you adjust your sail, and then you go this way, right? It's the very same thing in marketing, okay? Now, a little tiny tweak can make a massive amount of difference, okay? So when I talk as an example about connecting with people, whether it's connecting with people through your videos, connecting with people through your copywriting, your posts, your emails, your graphics, whatever it is that you do, a little tiny tweak, right, can all of a sudden open the floodgates to start, the income just starts piling in, right? But what I'm going to share with you guys here is that where a lot of people will go wrong in this type of model is that they feel that they have to actually lie to their market, right? And you don't want to do that, guys. You do not want to do that. So everything that I do, guys, all my campaigns, I show people it's not about the big income. That's an illusion. Now you may not even know this. You may not even understand this. Okay? When I first started my campaign, I first of all went into complete vulnerability. So I told people exactly what I was going to do. So a lot of times marketers have this big iron door here, right? They don't let people behind the scenes. Well, what I found is that I get a lot more interest if I'm prepared to just completely open up, right? Completely open up and tell everything, right? I show all my graphics, I show the behind the scenes, exactly what I did, how I did it, what my marketing strategy was, what my copy I wrote. Here's the email that I sent out. You can see when I send out an email, I post it right in the group. There's no hiding anything. I show you exactly what I'm writing, exactly what I send out, the exact pictures I use, right? And I do that for a reason. Because what you got to understand about marketing is that when you start something, right, this is why I teach the launch strategy, right, because it's compressed energy, right? I know that right here I'm going to have an income story, right? If I take 10 days, pop, right here I've got an income story. Makes sense, right? So if I start a business, I don't just enroll into something and then go, here's my link, oh my link, oh my link, right? I don't do that. I basically put together a campaign right here, right? That's my campaign. So right now, guess what? I'm rolling out another campaign. Does anybody here know what my campaign right now is called? From what you've seen, do you know what my campaign's called? Anybody?
Campaign sub.
So what was that again?
Campaign sub.
Campaign setup. This one.
No, sub.
Campaign set. No, this one is called Automation Mastery.
That's right.
Okay, Automation Mastery. Okay, build a business while having a life. That's my campaign that I'm running right now. Okay, so what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to show people. Now, here's my target market. So I want you guys to understand about, first of all, a campaign, right? And then target marketing. Okay, so people say to me, Darren, how did you start a business and in the third month make 25,000? How did you do that, right? I ran a campaign, okay? So who was I targeting? I targeted people that had a budget, but they had no time. And it was right in all my copy, right? Because that's where I was. I was in corporate America, and I needed a way out. What was my out? How was I going to get out of corporate America, right? So I had a budget, I had money. I mean, I was making, 120, 130, 140 grand a year, right, as VP marketing, but I didn't have an exit. How was I going to get out of there, right? Once you get into, if you're a family and you've got a mortgage payment, car payments, school for the kids, private school, all of these things start to add up, and now you got this burden on top of you, right? Like it's weight. Now what are you going to do? You're kind of like a ball and chain. You're kind of like in prison to your job, and there's no way to escape. You're literally like this, right? There's no way out. So I was targeting those people. So in my copy, I would write things like, if you have a budget, but you have no time to run a business, hit me up on private message and let me show you how to completely automate your life. That was my campaign, right? And if you go back to when I first launched out my campaign, I did a campaign for that. I did a campaign for Black Ops. I did a campaign in all these different situations, right? So right now I'm on kind of two campaigns, because I'm going to take all of my data that I currently have and I'm going to show people how to do automation mastery, right? Which is what I already did, right? I went from zero, third month 25,000, in the was it 7 months was like 107,000, right? And I'm going to show them how I did it. These are the exact strategies that I used in order to get those results. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I just needed a little tiny story. What was my story? My story was that I was really hungry this one day, right? I worked past lunch. It was like, 2, 3 o'clock. And I went out to the Oriental restaurant across the street, little Chinese place. So I'm sitting there and I order some beef and broccoli, right? And they, how they come over and they give you a little bit of Chinese tea, right? So I'm kind of like, I'm the little tiny cups, right? So I'm like sipping on this Oriental tea, and when they're really busy, they make the food real fast, right? Boom, like you got the beef and broccoli. Well, boom, it's right there, right? So they sit down the beef and broccoli, and my phone starts to make the sound like somebody's texting me, like ping, right? Text. Right, and I'm too hungry to look at my phone, so I start eating my beef and broccoli. Okay, I'm writing the story, guys, on my Facebook profile. Stories sell, facts only tell. Remember this in marketing. So there I was, and so I'm thinking to myself, who the heck is trying to get a hold of me, right? Like it's like ping. Right, and then I'm ping, right, the little tweak sound that this the text message makes. And so I grab my phone. At this time I'm thinking, like, who the heck is trying to get a hold of me, right? I open it up, and lo and behold, it's my underground marketing campaign sending me commissions. So while I was eating lunch, I made $75 on complete automation. If you have a budget, but you got no time to run a business, message me. Now, that campaign, guys, that $75 story about how I was sitting having beef and broccoli, sipping on the Chinese tea, got me 18 inquiries for my business. 18. Now, it depends on what you do with those on what's going to happen to your business. Now, obviously, if somebody says, send me the info, right? I know they're looking for more income. So what do I want to say to that person? So Tom, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Hey, I saw that you commented on my post. What has you looking for more income right now? Makes sense, right? The guy responds to my story saying, send me some more info, I don't just send them a link, right? Because then it's out of my control. I want to bring him into my reality where I have control of that situation. Makes sense, guys, right? You can see how that works? Okay? So, guys, if you're just watching here on YouTube, my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm known online as the MLM superhero. I actually come from corporate America. I came from the world of raising money, launching companies, taking companies public, doing venture capital. And one day, I had a really rough day. It was one of those days, where you've been up all night doing a work, and I hit the alarm clock multiple times. I was in the shower. I come out of the shower, stubbed my toe, full force against the bed, thought I broke my toe, go downstairs to get into my car, bring my coffee in as I'm going through the drive-through, hits the corner of the window, spills all over my suit. It's snowing out. I get to the underground. The underground's locked because the power's out. Park on the street, end up getting a ticket, come out at the end of the day, right into the puddle, soaks my shoes. I mean, it was a terrible day. And when I got that phone call from my friend telling me that he'd made $75,000 while he was away on vacation, I knew that I had to reevaluate. You ever been in that situation, guys, where something happens that is so impactful for your life that it literally shakes your reality like this? That's what happened for me. When I was making 10 grand a month and I found out that my buddy made $75,000 while he was away on vacation, that changed my reality forever. And that's what brought me here today. So what I want to do here is I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to share with you how I was able to start a business from a complete flat start, okay? And within 30 days make 10 grand. By my third month have a $25,000 month. Within 7 months make 107 grand, and now set that business up so it pays me a monthly residual income, and now it's growing like this, okay? Where I have an actual group of people, right, that are becoming top marketers, right? And that's where you learn how to clone yourself. Clone yourself, okay? So what I teach people how to do is how to leverage the internet to clone themselves through video, to clone themselves using a blog, to clone themselves using social media like Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, right? To clone themselves using YouTube, right? To make clone copies of you. Clone copies, guys. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you had the ability to have 100 of you? Real you, like this, real you. 100 of you. What if you had 1,000 of you? What if you had 10,000 of you? What if you had 100,000 of you? You think you might make a little bit more money? Think about it. Most people work an 8-hour day, right? If they're executives, sometimes it's 12 to 15 hours, especially if they're in a high-level position, they have to take their work home. But if they stop working, they don't make money. Once you learn how to clone yourself like this is going to become a clone copy of me, guys, just so you know. When this is all said and done, you're watching me on YouTube right now, and you can come back later, and there'll probably be 20, 30, 50, 100. It'll keep on getting bigger. 200, 500, 1,000 people that see this clone copy of me, right? So I'm live right now, but tomorrow I won't be. Tomorrow you're going to be seeing a clone copy of me. How about that? Pretty cool. And now you can start to work while you sleep. And that's really cool, to be able to make money while you're sleeping because of the cloned copies. Now, once you get that model and you understand it, and now you can teach a bunch of people how to create cloned copies of themselves, right? And you can actually start building this empire. And at a certain point in time, guys, I'll tell you what happens. Those people get so tapped into their dream emotionally, it doesn't matter whether you're involved or not. Seriously. It doesn't matter whether you are involved or not, they're building their dream. And you cannot stop them. Even if you called every single person and you said, you know what, I decided I'm taking a year off. They go, okay, we'll have fun. We're going to the top. See ya. That's what happens. That's the power of this, guys. So once you get the model and you really understand the difference between linear income, right, which is trading hourly, right, or salary, to cloned leveraged income, it's a whole new ball game, guys. It's a whole new ball game, because you can do an ad, as an example, on YouTube, right, that has a clone copy of you, and then send a bunch of people to it. Or you can have a Facebook ad, and that Facebook ad is going to a lead capture page where you're giving something away for free, and every time somebody opts in, they're going to a clone copy of you. That means when you go to sleep, you got this thing that's going like this. It's still making you money when you're not even there, and that's powerful. And that's what we do. We teach you how to master these strategies as a marketer, okay, so that you can have clone copies of you. You can teach people how to make clone copies of them, and next thing you know, you have an empire of marketers that are on their own path. They're on their own path, guys. And I can tell you that when Seb Brandigan goes through and goes through top producer formula, team building formula, and mass influence, and he starts to evolve as a leader, Seb will be in a position, guys, I'll tell you, in maybe a year from now, where he'll be hosting his own mastermind events and having speakers come in where he's hosting an event and people are flying in from all over the world to be at his event. It will happen. It will happen. You'll see, right? And as Seb now works with Simon, and the two of them come together, and they're both working under the mentorship of myself, boom, Simon's going to go up to this higher frequency, up to a higher resonance, because that's quantum physics, guys. That's how it works. And that's why it's so important that you want to be associating with people, right, that are not down the rabbit hole, right? Really important, guys, right? Do you understand that? Is that you don't want to be sucked down that rabbit hole. You want to be elevated up higher this way, to be with the people that are in the high vibration, people that are already having the success that you want, people that are already in the zone. They're already making millions and millions of dollars. They already have the lifestyle that you want. Those are the people that you want to be around, okay? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. And let me just actually pull up PowerPoint here, and we are good to go. Just a sec, and we are going to go live. Okay, so guys, one of the things before we go live that I'm going to share here with you guys today, especially if you're watching this on YouTube, there are certain tools that you need if you want to automate your life, right? This right here is called a Google Hangout, right? It's a free tool. It's done by through plus.google.com. You can set up a Google Hangout, and also through YouTube to start making these clone copies of yourself. And what they do is they allow you to be in 9 different cities simultaneously in the event that you have students, or in the event every one of these people could have their own room filled with people, and I would be up on a big screen TV, right? So from the comfort of my kitchen, I can be in 4 corners of the world right now, all the way from Africa to the UK. I could be over in the US, Canada, Alaska, all over the world, Asia, right? I can be in all places at the same time without me leaving my kitchen table. How about that? Pretty cool, right? It's a pretty cool situation. And what you end up with is leverage, okay? Now, I want you to think about this from time zones, okay? Because when I'm waking up, the people in the UK are going to bed, right? And when they're waking up, I'm going to bed. That means that you can have a business that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, once you learn how to do this, right? Pretty good situation to be in. right? That means it doesn't depend on just you. So someplace in the world, right? We've got hundreds and hundreds of people in our Millionaire Mentoring. Someplace in the world, somebody's up working their business and they can give you support. Pretty cool when you got support 24/7, right? Through your whole organization, right? Okay, so here we go, guys. So we are going live. Okay, so you know, having just to share a little bit here about my background, guys. You know, my background's really in personal development and marketing. Okay, and in my early 20s, what happened was that I was really magnetized or pulled to late night infomercials, to Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was my first gateway to freedom. Tony Robbins, Unlimited Personal Power, that program completely transformed my reality. But there was something missing. I didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I became Vice President of Marketing with Dr. Lee Poulos, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And then in my 40s, I was Vice President of Marketing with Dr. Dov Baron, learning quantum physics, the secret behind the secret, the attracting force. How does this work? What is the science behind getting rich, right? So this is called the Success Vortex. A lot of stuff that I teach has to do with mind power, thoughts, words, and emotions, and how that creates your own reality. So thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP call. So what is the Success Vortex anyway? A lot of people say, well, what is that, Darren? What is the Success Vortex? Well, here's what we do. What we do is we empower entrepreneurs, okay? It doesn't matter what you do, guys, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a realtor, mortgage broker, insurance agent. Those are all independent type of situations where you're really truly working for yourself, right? Those are like the first stage of entrepreneurialism as far as corporate type thing. Top salespeople, automotive, people that the only driver is them, the only true driver. If they don't make sales, they get fired, right? So the difference here is that you're the boss, right? You have a team support system, and you've got people from all over the world that can help you launch your business. So it's your business. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. So we help people to step into their personal power, to transform every single area of their life, including health and fitness, relationships, spiritual, emotional, career, travel, to be able to give back, make a difference, and leave behind a legacy for your family, for your community, for your church, really be a contribution to the world. We also teach entrepreneurs how to add $100,000 plus to their annual residual income working part-time. Now, I'm going to show you guys how I did that in 7 months, okay? 7 months. Total case study from A to Z, okay? So this is called Automation Mastery, building a business while having a life. And I can tell you that there's a lot of people out there, guys, in corporate America that they make good money. They just don't have any freedom, right? They bring their job home with them. They're not even paying attention when their kids want their attention. Their brain is someplace else at work, and they really have no life. They're working the weekends. They just don't have any freedom. And they can't really even take any time off, because if they take time off, their business completely crumbles, right? So they're in a little bit of a catch-22, right? They might have their own business, but they don't really want to leave it, because if they do, things seem to start sliding in sales, right? Okay, so that's me right there. I'm known online as the MLM Superhero. That is sort of a spoof that I do. It's my own sort of online brand. I wanted, coming from marketing and advertising, guys, I wanted to be able to create a brand that once you heard it, that you were always going to remember it, right? I found that it was easier to do something like that from a branding standpoint, and that I could get it to go viral just from doing some spoofs and things like that. And it's been very, very effective, right, for me over the last couple of years. So a lot of stuff that we teach really has to do with personal branding. Now, if you stick around to the end of this presentation, guys, I'm going to give you a $197 bonus. You don't have to pull out your credit card in order to be able to get that bonus. So I want you to realize that this is really a reward for you just for showing up. I believe 80% of success is all about showing up. Okay? I say to people, if you just show up for Millionaire Mentoring, your life will transform in 90 days without a shadow of a doubt. Some people do it in 30, but I can honestly tell you, between 30 and 90 days, your life will change. Now, I want for you guys to really understand this, because these stats that I'm going to show you here are real. Okay? Those are a lot of the main companies out there in the world. And only 0.1% of the people in all these companies, guys, earn more than $400 a month. So I want for you to really get the fact that $500 a month would save 50% of bankruptcies. It would save 50% of divorces that are going on in the world just with $500. Now I'm going to show you how to make a lot more money than that, but you can either buy into this story right here, or you can buy into my story that I'm going to share with you. Because not only have I raised tens of millions of dollars using the strategies that I'm about to teach you, but I became a millionaire at the age of 35 using the strategies that I teach. And all my students, if you become one of the students that work within this group, within our community, within the Success Vortex, you will learn those strategies too. You will learn how to completely transform every area of your life once you learn how to master your mind. 95%, guys, of business is mindset. 95% is mindset. And whatever you believe to be true is true for you. So if you believe something's super easy, it's super easy. If you believe something's super hard, it's super hard. If you say all the time, oh, I can't do that, then you'll never be able to do it. You got to start saying, how can I do that? Who's doing it? Let me talk to those people. Those are the only people I want to hang out with. I want to hang out with the movers, the shakers, and the doers. Those are the people. No pity parties around for me, right? So for me, in my reality, I'm allergic to victims, guys. And I'll tell you straight up, I'm allergic to victimhood. I push those people away out of my reality, and I give them a few tools to go out and apply those tools to their life and figure it out, right? Because I'm not saving people. You cannot save people. They're the only person that can save themselves. And that comes down to this next part right here. You have to be able to take responsibility for these three things. It's your thoughts, it's your words, it's your emotions that is creating your reality. Okay, those three things. And the equation for manifestation is thought-directed emotion that generates feeling. Okay, that's how the reality is actually created. Thought-directed emotion that generates feeling. Now, the good news is it works for everything that you want. The bad news is it works for everything that you don't want. Now, the question is, which reality are you focusing on in your life? Which one of those two realities? Because they both exist at the same time. They're two parallel worlds. Everything you want is on one side. Everything you don't want is on the other side. And if you can master these three things, guys, you will master your bank account. And it's real simple. Think about it. If all you got to do is be aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying, and how you're feeling, and you can master your bank account, wouldn't you spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to do that? Think about that. Okay, so people say, Darren, how do you start a business and raise 10 million bucks? How do you start a business from nothing and get people to back the deal and start cutting checks of 50,000, $250,000, 500 grand, $1 million bucks at a time? How's that possible? These two words, what if? What if? That's how I launch every company I've ever done. What if everyone I talked to wanted to join my business? What if my phone was ringing off the hook with incoming calls? What if leaders were calling me from all four corners of the world? What if I could recruit new reps into my business in minutes? What if money was flowing to me in avalanches of abundance? What if I could create a $10,000 monthly residual income in 90 days? How would it feel? Listen to my words, guys. How would it feel. Your physiology in your body is your compass. Your physiology in your body is your compass. Now, I know from studying the subconscious mind that you can trick the subconscious mind. How about that? You can trick the subconscious mind into believing this reality is already real, right now. And if I repeat this over and over and over, my physiology in my body will start to shift, and my body will start broadcasting a communication out to those electrons. They're smaller than the atoms in the molecules, and they're waiting for my instructions. Now, in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, he talks about this in detail. He calls it formless substance. And if you learn this, guys, I'm telling you, every area of your life will completely transform. So, people say to me, Darren, I don't know, I've never been in a business like this. I don't know, I can't sell, okay? This is what I've heard a lot of people say. And you know what I say? Oh my God, thank God. Thank God. You'll do great, right? Because the people that do the worst in this type of a business are what you would consider the used car salesman. They suck at it, totally suck. Because it's not a features and benefits business model. Okay, it's an attraction model. So how do you become the attractor factor? How do you reverse the polarity so that people come to you? That your phone is ringing with incoming calls, so that people are calling you saying, I want to join your business. What do you do differently? Here's the formula. There's 3 steps that you need to know to become a leader in this business model. This is a leadership, personal development business model. It is not a features and benefits sales pitch model. And if you learn this thing right here, 3 simple things, guys, your life will transform. Here they are. Let's say that today is your very first day, and you've never done anything before. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to learn something, anything. But it has to be something that's going to solve people's problems. And there's really only about 5 problems that people have in this industry, right? They've run out of their warm market. They don't know how to generate leads because they've already burnt through their friends and family. They're tired of getting rejected, right? They're tired of harassing people, right? They don't know how to, once they have people, how to close them or upsell them. They don't know how to get team duplication, right, in their business, right? So that's really about it. How about that? How about that? It's not like there's a lot of stuff that you've got to be able to, problems you got to be able to solve. There's only a couple. So you've got to learn one thing that's going to help one of those things. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is you're going to now implement that thing. And you want to be able to speak about the thing that you just learned. Okay, so let's say that I learned how to, generate leads using Facebook, or I just learned how to never get rejected ever again in my home business. Okay, now I'm going to speak about it. I can speak about it on a video. I can speak about it on a video and put that on my blog. I can speak about it on a video and put it on my Facebook. I can write about it on my Facebook. I can write about it on my blog. I can make a little graphic on Pinterest or Instagram and put a little graphic message, right, that goes back to my blog, right? So I'm going to now share what I learned, right? And that's really it right there. That's how you become a leader. That's how you're recognized as a leader. And this is how you get a following of people. Okay? So you learn something. Now you're going to just tell people what you just learned. Step 1. Now you're going to implement the strategy, collect some data, some results, and share your results. Holy crap, you mean that's it, Darren? That's all I got to do? Those 3 things? Yep. How about that? And the better that you get at one particular strategy, that becomes what I call your special sauce. Your special sauce. That's something that people want to work with you because you've mastered a specific area. Okay? And as you get better and better and better at it, you can have different levels of advancement for that one special thing that you've mastered, right? And that's where you become the attractor factor. Okay, so I want to give you guys a visual, because a lot of people are really visual. This gives you an idea of how marketing actually works. So the big center circle is what I call the menu of all the different marketing things that you can pick up, whether they're online, offline, business cards, networking events, local newspapers, maybe radio, solo ads, offline signage, press releases, blogs. There's all sorts of things on the menu. Now, when you go into a restaurant, guys, you don't order every single thing off the menu. You don't sit down with the menu and say, okay, I'll take one of everything. That's not how it works. You look at the menu and you pick something that you like and you order that. Maybe you have an appetizer, maybe you have a main course, maybe you have a dessert. Sometimes you only go in for appies. How about that? Appies and drinks. So think about this in the center like it's your menu, and the whole purpose of it is to lasso your target market, your buyers. You're going to send them to a lead capture page, and you're going to offer them something for free. That's called your lead magnet, right? They're opting in to get something of value, where you can start to build a relationship with them. Typically, if you help a person, if you help them solve a problem, if you give them something of value, they just have an appreciation for you, right? And now you can now offer them something that's affordable, that's more value, right? It could be $7 or 25 bucks or some low entry price. And then you're going to give them an opportunity to buy something at a little bit higher amount, okay? Your autoresponder is going to follow up and give them emails. Okay, so you don't have to be sitting there by your computer, type into every person that inquires about your business. It's going to go out in an autoresponder that actually follows up for you, right? So in that follow-up, they're going to have an opportunity to buy higher ticket items, right? And there's also going to be a follow-up series on that, right, that talks about the higher way to make money in whatever it is that you're doing. And then you're going to teach them this strategy. I call this boomerang sponsoring. So in here, you'd be creating some content. The content goes back to your lead cap page. You're giving away something for free. There's a low entry, low ticket starting price. Then there's an upsell. There's a follow-up series, higher ticket items, autoresponder, and teach the process. Very simple. Okay, now here's how it would work. Here's another visual of it. This is called a sales funnel. So you start off on the top with a broad, an area, right? That's your lead capture page. It's going to go from there into something that's an easy entry, $7 trial, and that maybe goes into a $97 per month subscription. Then you've got a mindset training that maybe is $100 per month subscription. And then people say, you know what? I want to make big money. Can you show me how to make big money, Darren? Can you show me how to become a millionaire? Absolutely. Here's how this works. So you're going to become an affiliate, and you're going to have an opportunity to market products and make commissions. Okay, now in this particular case, you can make anywhere from $17.50 up to as high as $3,000 in commissions per transaction, right? And this gets very, very exciting, guys, once you learn this model and you realize that you could sell one product and have a $3,000 day. Okay, now in the short period of time that I was doing this marketing case study, the best day that I had so far was $7,163. And I can tell you that it's life-changing, guys, when that happens. When you learn these strategies and that happens for you in a single day, it will completely transform every area of what you believe to be true about making money. And it just opens up a gateway to a whole different reality. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to focus on this area right here. Okay, those are the monthly subscriptions, because this is actually when I first started, before any of the other things were even available. This is where I put my mindset. Okay, and I'm going to show you how this works with speaking the reality into existence. So I knew that if I wanted to make $100,000 a year, I needed to make $8,333 a month, right? And I took that and I divided by 87.50. That was the blog platform and the inner circle. It paid $87.50. So I knew that I needed 102 transactions. Okay, 102 transactions. Now here's the interesting thing. When I grew up in business, I always had the belief that if it was to be, it was up to me. So I took 102 and I started to think, okay, what if 10% of the people bought? So how many people would I have to actually talk to? Or how many people would I have to see my presentation? Around 1,000. Okay, could I do that? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Okay, what if I did that in a month? How many people would I have to have conversations with? Okay, so 1,000 divided by 30, well, that would be about 33. Is that achievable? Absolutely. Could I do that? Absolutely. So I broke it down like that, guys. And once I realized that, I'd get to 33 and I go like, that was pretty easy. Tomorrow I'm going to do 40. Tomorrow I'm going to do 50. Because I knew if I can compress the energy on the front end, it would go pop, right? And that's exactly what happened. So I designed a custom lead capture page that set me apart from the rest of the company. Okay, so when people went to my lead capture page, they didn't know what it was. It looked completely different. So this says you're about to discover the simple system I used to make $174,816.73 for my laptop. That number is now like about 480,000, right? But this is where it started. So I basically took the concept, once I learned it, that I'm going to take qualified buyers and I'm going to send them to a page like this. They're going to opt in and they're going to watch a video. It's a pretty simple concept. So that's what I did. So just by making this one little tweak, it tripled the amount of people that opted in to take a look at my offer, right? So just by making that one little tweak, I got 3 times the value for my dollars, right? For every dollar I spent, I got 300% more leads, right, than just using the regular thing that the company provided, because I looked different, I stood out, okay? Now, this is something that I want for you to understand called breaking inertia. And a lot of people, they talk about this barrier, this wall. Guys, I will tell you this as a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur like 26 years now, and I will tell you this, it's real. It's no BS. There is definitely a barrier wall between you and your dream, 100%. And if you want to get liftoff, you have to break inertia. And it typically, with concentrated massive action, with massive focus, I'm talking balls to the walls focus, like your foot's down on the gas pedal all the way, like you're taking off on the runway, okay? This area right here is the most critical time of your business launch. And if I talk to somebody and I go, tell me what's happening in your business, and they go, well, I talked to this one guy, I think he might be interested. Okay, you're broke. You'll never get your business off the ground. Literally, it will never happen for you. I'm telling you this from doing launch after launch after launch after launch. If you do not have compressed energy on the front end of your business, you will not get liftoff. Okay, I'm talking about this type of liftoff. This is from 0 to $12,361.85, residual income, not one-time income, residual income in like 47 days. I don't know, what is that, from the 10th till the 29th? Well, I don't even know what that calculate with between the June and July and whatever, but all I can tell you is that to get from nothing to $12,361.85 in residual income, I'm not going to lie, guys, I busted my ass to do that. But would you work that hard for that little bit of period of time to get that type of income? I didn't have any problem with it. I certainly would. I'd do it all over again. I'd do it again and again and again and again to get that type of freedom. 100%. And that's the difference between people that go all in on their dream and people that put a little tiny pinky in the little water. Okay, well, I'm just going to kind of test the waters. Okay, you're going to be broke. Because I can tell you that I can get there 100 times faster making $3,000 commissions than you will making $17.50 commissions. Think about it. How many sales do you have to do to my one sale? Right? Think about that, guys, in the back of your mind. Every time you think, should I go all in? Should I go all in on my dream? Do you want to become a millionaire, or do you want to just make dinner money? There's the difference. Do you want to be a millionaire, or do you want this as a hobby? Do you want to just go out for dinner every once in a while with the money that you make from your business, or are you looking at this as a career income? Because that's a lot more than the average person makes, and I did it in like 47 days or whatever, 49 days, whatever the number is. Okay, $12,361.85 residual. Right now, is it worth it to put that effort in on the front end? I believe it is. Okay, this is what I call test marketing, guys. Okay, so what I typically do is I go out and I call it taking a hit for the team. So I go out and I do all the testing. I do all the different marketing testing strategies so that I can say 100% with my stamp of approval that I've tested this stuff, I've tweaked it, I've gone through these products, and we've done $200 million in the company of product sales. Okay, so this has generated $225,167 for me, and you know, there's 15 millionaires that have been created so far from this information that we market. Okay, this, you know, it's a blog platform, mindset training, how to become a top producer in any company, how to build a team, how to create culture amongst your people, how to lift them up, motivate them, and inspire them into action, and how do you have mass influence on people. And eventually you can come up with your own products, right? I've got 3 products I've done so far: speed recruiting, subconscious mind tapping, 10x unstoppable minds, and now I'm working on the release of Unleash the Alpha Within. Now, if it wasn't for this training, guys, I would never have been able to do that. Never been able to do that if I hadn't gotten these products. Okay, so they definitely work. So the test marketing is now complete, and we're going to the next level. But I want to show you the beginning. This was the beginning for me in the massive action stage. So this was 57 days of action. Now, you saw the type of balls to the walls I did, guys. Okay, this is like pedal to the metal. Right? When I talk about, you know, having, you know, the 33 conversations or connections on social media, I really did that. And when I was on a major, I think my best day, my record was like 75. The best day ever that I ever had launching my business was I had 75 connections in a single day. And mind you, I was up really early that day and I worked till midnight. Okay? I won't you know, sugarcoat it. I busted my butt, but it generated $24,348 in 57 days, plus a $3,031.70 residual over here. Residual, right? Okay, so that was 50 days from a complete flat start. Now, here's what happened as I went into the 3rd month. Okay, the 3rd month. $12,000 week. That's where I had a $7,163 day. Now, was that front-end inertia worth it? To be starting to have $12,000 in a week? I think it is. And then by Christmas, start having, you know, $3,991.45 days. That was Boxing Day. Can you imagine having you finish Christmas, you're hanging out with a family, you wake up and you get emails that says you just made almost $4,000 US for you know, while you were sleeping, right? Pretty cool. Now I will put out an income disclaimer here, guys, and say I don't even know if you'll show up for Millionaire Mentoring, truthfully. Right? There's a lot of big talkers out there, a lot of oh yeah, Darren, I want to change my life, right? And then we never see them on Millionaire Mentoring. This is the one thing that you can count on. We will still be here for Millionaire Mentoring. The question is, will you? Right? And I don't know what the answer is to that. Right? Now, I set an intention. I talk a lot about in my Millionaire Mentoring about setting an intention. Now, an intention is different than a goal. A goal is out there, but an intention is emotional. Right? So my intention was I'm going to be in the top 10 in the company, right, within a 60-day period, right? And I hit number 6, right, in 58 days, right? Good goal, and I busted my butt to do it, right? As soon as I saw my name pop up on the leaderboard, I knew it was possible, and I just went balls to the walls as soon as I saw that, and there I was. Okay, so here's how I created a six-figure income in 30 days. That means I had to make more than $8,333 in a single month. Okay, $8,333 in a single month. This is how I did it from a flat start. First of all, I needed something to sell that was going to pay me high commissions, because 8,333, if I could make $3,000, I only needed to make a couple. Think about that. So my mind was already thinking, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. I only got to make 3 sales. You see how that works, guys? So my mind already accepted the fact that it was going to be easy, right? I already accepted the fact as truth. I drew a line in the sand. I said, oh, that's a piece of cake. I only got to make 3 sales, right? That's a different type of mindset, right? Which is what we teach in Millionaire Mentoring. Now, it needed to be affordable, right? What do I mean by affordable? I call it under the radar, right, with a low entry price. That means that if, let's say that the husband or the wife is online and they watch a sales video and the husband pulls out his credit card and spends 25 bucks, they're not going to get a divorce over it. Okay, it's not going to create like a family feud at home because the husband or the wife spent 25 bucks. Okay, now our particular situation that we're marketing right now has a $7 trial, so it's very easy to be able to get people to check out our online system. If you just came on the line, can you please mute out, or somebody can you mute that person out that just came on? So under $60, guys. Okay, that's what I call under the radar. So it's important, anything that you're marketing, that you use these same formulas and strategies with what you're doing. Now, people needed to be able to become profitable within their business in a 30-day period of time if they took massive action. Now, a lot of people will say, okay, I want to do what you did, Darren, and then they don't take massive action. They're one of the people that, well, I talked to this one guy, I think he might be interested. Okay, you're broke. You'll never get your business off the ground. It's got to be massive action on the front end to break inertia, right? Okay, so I wanted to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest time possible. Now, wouldn't that be a great thing to be? Think about that. This is my proclamation. I wanted to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest time possible. Right? That's a great reality to create for yourself. So upsells to higher ticket commissions were mandatory. That means the $7 had to be able to upsell to 100, upsell to 500, upsell to 1,000, upsell to 3,500, so that the system was going to do that. You see how that works, guys? So it's very important that I had those upsells to hit my goal. And the corporate videos needed to convert on their own. Okay, now why is that so important? Because you could be the best explainer yourself. You might be a master. Maybe you can sell ice cubes to Eskimos, but the next person that comes in can't. Right? So I wanted a corporate video that was going to do the conversions for me. Not me. Not me, guys. Okay, so I wanted to be in a situation where I could post a link, write some copy. I talked a little bit earlier about stories are what sell, facts only tell. So a lot of my stuff was about stories. Going to the restaurant, hanging out, getting commission notifications. Then I would turn it into PowerPoint graphics. So if I had a little story, I made a whole thing out of it. I went to Hawaii. I was on the golf course. There's a picture of me and my parents, right? And my commission notifications are underneath that with circles and arrows and, guys, a life of freedom. And it was really happening. Like, holy crap, I was out on the golf course, had a $1,000 day, right? I just got back from Los Angeles, and I get a commission notification. Congratulations, you made $2,200, right? That's what I'm talking about, guys. That it's completely transformational when this starts happening for you. Now, there needed to be marketing training provided, right? So that means that I didn't want to have to do all the marketing training. I wanted people to be able to get that support system from the company, to have products that they could buy that were going to educate them on how to become a top producer, how to build a team, how to create mass influence. And that's why I love this, because it was completely generic for any company, right? But they needed to learn new skills, okay? Now, then what I do is I document my campaign. I document it. I share my results with people. I take them behind the scenes. So this was what I call piggyback marketing. I piggybacked off the Flintstones. And that's another thing that I teach in my Millionaire Mentoring is piggyback marketing. Piggybacking off of movies and, you know, hot things in the press and Hollywood celebrities and, you know, things that are hot in the news right now, right? I've done campaigns that I piggybacked off of video games. I've piggybacked off of James Bond. I've piggybacked off of different themes, like the Fantastic Four or whatever, to get the brand awareness for whatever it is that I'm doing. So I continue to reinvest back into my business. So in this particular campaign, it cost me $560 for the campaign, but it generated 228 leads, right? 23 sales, 14 team members. The total revenue was $583. My cost was $560. That went up to all the way up to $700, and I took the full $700 and I put it back in. I bought more traffic, I bought more ads, right? And I put it back in. 3 weeks, I had my first $3,000 day, right? Now, once again, I will put a disclaimer here, guys, saying that I bust my butt. I got a vision, I got an intention, and I'm going to make that, I will make this thing happen no matter what. Nothing will stop me when I set that intention. And if you want to be a successful serial entrepreneur, you literally have to be RoboCop, guys. You've got to be so bulletproof, so intensely focused on your vision and your dream that nothing anybody says is going to stop you. Nothing. You're like a laser that's going to go right through that wall, right through the metal. So these are the exact steps I took. I got what's called a Kalatu blog. Okay, now what you got to realize, if you want to be successful online, you have to have a central hub, right, where all your information's coming from. Now, once you have that central hub, you can promote the blog, right? So I generate the leads. I write a blog post. If the blog post has value, I email the blog post to my list. My list reads the blog post. They build that relationship with me, and they buy. Okay, so I've written blog posts, guys, about me and my son that have generated me over 12 grand. I've written blog posts about me on an extreme mountain adventure that have recruited 5 people in 24 hours on complete autopilot without talking to them. Now, how can that be? It can be because they're watching video, because they're seeing pictures, they're reading story. I'm changing their state. I'm taking them through emotions, right? So, and then I got a get response autoresponder that was going to communicate to those people once they opted in, right? So I don't have to sit by my computer and send every person an email, right? You understand that? Okay. So what did I do number 2? I went all in and I bought the core products. Why did I do that? Because I didn't want the $8,333 to take forever. I thought if I can make 3 sales, I'm profitable. That's easy. Okay, let's do a campaign to make 3 sales, right? So that's how my mindset worked. So I thought, oh, I got a whole month. I only got to make 3 sales. Everything else is going to be gravy. Oh, okay, that's easy. Let's go. So I put my mind into a very high frequency, like a corporate executive, knowing there's tons and tons of people out there that have money, they don't have any freedom, they want what I have, and I got the cookie, right? That's the mindset that I was in. So I purchased some paid traffic, which is qualified buyers. I sent them to a page, and I reported my results on social media. This is why I say PowerPoint is so important. What you guys are looking at right here is a PowerPoint. This is the only way, in my belief, that you can properly present data to a market. This is what they use in corporate America. This is what I believe. If you don't have PowerPoint and you don't learn how to use PowerPoint as a leader, forget about it. You can never really be a 7-figure, multiple 7-figure, and beyond income earner. Can you make a little bit of money? Sure. You can make money to take your wife out for dinner or your husband out for dinner. Sure. But if you really want to make big, life-changing income, guys, this is a leadership business model, a problem-solving business model. And this right here, in my opinion, is the most professional way to present data. Now, I continue to email my list, showcasing my results, and providing more value. Now think about that. It's pretty simple. If you look at this little formula here, it's still not rocket science here. So I had a little success. I emailed my list. I took the graphic that I made on PowerPoint. I put it into my email. The graphic was hyperlinked back to my sales video, right? So it's just like this interactive matrix that once you get this, you go, oh my God, this is so easy, right? And then what I did is I showed other people how to duplicate this process. Get a blog, get a responder, get the products, get a little bit of paid traffic, or learn how to do some free marketing strategies, report your results on social media, email your list, and show other people how to do it. Real simple, 6 simple steps, okay? A lot of people say, well, I don't have any leads, right? Okay, so that's the victim. Don't do that. This is business, guys. So all you got to do is have a budget, right? And then figure out a strategy, right? My particular strategy that I used was using paid traffic, right? There's strategies on Facebook. There's strategies on pay-per-click. There's strategies on video. There's strategies on Craigslist, right? There's tons and tons of different strategies. What's most important is that you make the decision that you're raising your standards. You're drawing a line in the sand. You're raising your standards to a higher level, and you're going to change your life, right? And once you make that decision and you draw that line in the sand, you say, that's it, period. And now you set out with the intention on how you're going to do it. And surround yourself with people that are already doing it. That's what I learned from Tony Robbins. He said, whatever you've got going on in your life, find somebody who's getting the results that you want and copy them. Real simple. Think about it. Doesn't matter if you're overweight, if you don't have a relationship that you want, whatever it is. Find somebody who's getting what you want and ask them what they did to get it. And copy. It's called copycat, right? Works great. So that's one of the traffic sources, my superhero traffic. And this is me, Darren Little, also known online as the MLM superhero. And what I want to do, guys, is here is your bonus. I want you to go right now and get a copy of MLM Affiliate Magic. It will completely transform your life. You can go to darrenlittle.com/MLM Magic, right? And that's a training manual that I put together that will literally fast track you by about 3 years of pain and suffering. But there we go. So what you should do now is either get back to the person that invited you here, click the link below, take action, take our $7 trial, guys. I mean, we're not talking about a second mortgage here. Take the $7 trial, throw your hat over the wall. At least you can get in behind the scenes and look at the whole system, find out how it works. Here's some more testimonials from people. And there's a couple people here on the panel that I'm sure would love to share a little bit about their personal breakthroughs with Millionaire Mentoring. And let's just reach out right now to Michelle. Michelle, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic.
Hello.
So, share with us a little bit about where you were and where you are. Because, guys, I want to just pre-frame this a little bit, okay? Michelle, I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit about where she used to be, but where she is now is that she ranked number 9 on the leaderboards out of tens of thousands of people as a brand new rookie. So, Michelle, share your story.
Well, where I was, it's funny because my 6-year-old just came over here and took a peek at the computer, is where I always tell Olivia I don't want her to be, and that's whining. Whining, 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 whining. And I can remember, Darren, I used to drive you nuts because you would be like, you would try so hard to talk me out of my victim, and I was just so intent on staying there. It was like that was all I could see. I could see nothing other than that. I had just come out of the hospital. I went in for emotional problems. I'm bipolar borderline, and I have a head injury that exacerbates my anger, my rage attacks. There's all kinds of great things I called upon myself in this lifetime. but I was struggling with all kinds of issues, and the human condition, was battling all kinds of that stuff, and I hadn't gone through the surrendering process or the awakening or anything like that. I didn't know that I had caused all this stuff on myself, and that it was part of the journey, and that they were actually, when I looked at them, when I became the victor, that it was actually going to be my strengths and not my weaknesses, and that once I got through all the process, I was actually going to be able to look up from the mountain and help the people that were down at the bottom, and say, look what I've come through. Look at me. You can do this too, you know. So I was in my rabbit hole. I was Alice, and Darren reached in and grabbed me, and it took about I think it was a little less than 90 days, Darren. Um, but you worked really, really hard. I was a hard one there. It was a hard case, but
Well,
I was quite pitiful though.
well, congratulations and continued success.
Thank
I want to just reach out to Ray here quickly. Ray, can you unmute?
Sure, what's up, Darren?
Can you bend your screen there so we can see and we're not looking at your ceiling?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So, Ray, I want you just to share a little bit because, I think that this is happening really fast for you. I got to tell you this, okay? Because you've only been actually involved for about 2 weeks, okay?
That's about right.
In that time, you've been to maybe about 3 or 4 different millionaire mentoring sessions, and I want you to really speak to that person that's watching right now on YouTube that is where you were just 2 weeks ago, right? And I want you just to share a little bit of vulnerability here. Just share what shifted for you. What was going on from where you were to where you are now, where you can see a gateway's open now to like a complete different life of freedom. What shifted for you?
I would have to say the biggest thing that shifted for me so far is the guilt that I felt about wanting success, about, I guess I would say, my childhood, when I was growing up, I was always led to believe that I wasn't good enough, that I didn't measure up, that I was a fat kid, that that I guess I just didn't deserve success. And my parents, great people, but they were addicts, and they held me down, and I became an addict and lived that illusion for a little over 30 years. And in the last 2 weeks, I've finally, I guess I would say, held the mirror up to my soul through these Hangouts. And I realized that I can't have what I want. I've always wanted to do this. It's just that I needed to get over myself and let the game come to me, instead of put up some sort of force field that is just like subconscious bullshit. So.
And what I want to share with you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, is that we all battle this. It's called the human condition, right? It's not your fault. Right? We all battle this. It has to do with our early childhood programming, right? When we don't even understand how language works yet. Right? No, don't, stop, be careful. Right? And that creates this thing in our program, right? So what happens is that to go to the next level, what Ray actually did was he went from being a lone ranger, okay, like an isolated little pod in a room all by himself, to part of the collective, part of a team, right? And when that happens, there's like a surrendering process where you're no longer fighting yourself anymore, where you realize, holy crap, I really have a support system here, right? And when you have a support system and a team behind you that can help lift you up into flight, that's when everything starts to change, guys. When you have that lifting process that takes you up and gives you wings so that you can fly. That's the key to understand here about a team. You can't play football with one person and a football. It's not possible. It requires the team, right? And one guy gets the touchdown, but it was the team that got him to the finish line, the goal. That, you know, right to the goal, to the cheer. Only one person carries the ball over the line, but the whole team got him there. There's one hitter that hits the home run, but the whole team won the game. You see how that works? That's this industry, guys. And if you realize that and you can just surrender to the team and you can become a team player, right, and you can provide your asset. What's your asset? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, if you're involved, the team gets better, right? The team gets better from your contribution, right? That's what becomes exciting, right? When you see all these people around you, like Seb Brantigan just became a top producer, right? Top producer formula. He went boss maker, boom, top producer, he's only been involved for 15 days. That's exciting, guys, right? Simon just went boss in 10 days. First rank, first leadership rank, bam, 10 days because of the team. So the team works together, guys. The team works together. So here's what I'm going to share with you guys. I don't know where you're at right now. If you're in transition, if you're in a breaking point in your life, if you just want to be able to get a little extra cash flow, if you just want a little bit of extra freedom so that you can spend more time with your kids, right? There's nothing worse than having kids growing up. I've got a son now that's 16 years old, guys, and I can totally relate to this 100%. Because you can't replace those years. You can't replace them. They grow up so fast, and all those cute little cool times that you just never get to experience. I was really lucky, right? Because when my son was born, I was kind of in a freedom lifestyle by that time. I got to see a lot of that stuff when he was a baby, when he was 1, when he was 2. We'd go to the park. I'd take him to these awesome 5-star restaurants and dress him up and slick his hair back like he was from Wall Street, put the shiny shoes on him, and we would go out and about in the town, right? I got a chance to experience that. A lot of parents never do, right? A lot of parents have their kids with babysitters and daycare and stuff like that. They never actually get to enjoy that time. We got a lot of single moms here that work with us that work from home. They got a computer. They learn these strategies. I'm right now in my kitchen, guys. I'm in my kitchen right now, and I'm broadcasting into 9 different places around the world. Plus, I got people tuning in on YouTube. How about that? I don't have to leave the house. That's pretty cool, right? And I can crank out these commissions, $3,000 at a time, and totally change my life by helping other people to learn how to do it, right? So if that's you, and you truly want to take your life to the next level, click the link below this video where it says Get Started, and throw your hat over the wall. Let us help you. We can. We've already got a massive track record behind us, right? There's 15 verified millionaires so far in the very short period of time that we've launched. We've done $200 million in product sales, guys. You think they might work? You think we might be onto something here? Right? So take action. Throw your hat over the wall. My name's Darren Little with the MLM Superheroes, and I look forward to meeting you in person, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. So have a great day.